All right, so there's guys out there who half-ass learn to code. They feed into the fear mongering they see online about, oh, how AI is going to automate all jobs, bro. They, aren't really focused, and they see coding as a get rich quick scheme. And these guys start for a bit, quit shortly after, don't get anywhere. Whereas there's other guys out there who focus on coding, knows what they want to do, work hard, and they get paid. I'm going to talk about what I think is the difference here and how we can be in the latter group. Without further ado, let's dive into it. I remember clearly when I graduated with a criminology degree in 2019, and I live in Canada, so I was looking at the starting salaries for police officers in the area, and it was like 70 to 80K. Now let's look at some of the conditions that police officers have to deal with. It's a dangerous profession. They have to deal with violence, and it's shift work. And then I looked at the starting salaries for software developers in my area, and lo and behold, it was more than the starting salaries for police officers. So I made the decision right then and there that I'm going to pivot into computer science. And in under 2 years from starting my CS degree, in under 2 years, I had two job offers on the table, one for 86K and one for over six figures. This leads me to the first point I want to make. Look, coding isn't a get rich quick scheme. We need realistic timelines in our mind here. Some people will get to those higher salaries quicker. Some people will take a little bit more time. Part of the issue here is like those YouTube videos say, oh, I learned to code for 3 months. Now I make $500,000 a year. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. All right. Again, for some people, it'll be quicker. Some people will take a little bit more time, but this is a legitimate profession, not a get rich quick scheme, right? So have realistic timelines in your mind. That'll lead to way less frustration and a much higher chance of success. Next, I remember once I signed up for my computer science degree, I would literally be like laying down in my bed, like with my book open, half asleep, or coding with my laptop, half asleep. A lot of times I would fall asleep, so I was like, whoa, whoa, and then I wake up, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to be studying, and then I get back to studying. Or I was already stressed out about this career pivot that I was making with coding, right? So then I didn't want to code on top of that because coding is a mentally draining task as well. It's heavy on the brain, right? So I would be doing productive work, like watching somewhat related YouTube videos or reading this article. It's somewhat related, so that's productive. One point I want to touch on here is those people who say, oh, you got to study 8 hours a day, bro. Got to put 12-hour days, bro. Take that thought, throw it out the window as well, okay? This was something that it led to this problem for me, at least, because I thought I needed to be focusing on the hours. So in order to fill in those hours, I'd be doing all this nonsense work. If you do focused, impactful, if you focus on the impactful work and you do that even for 2 to 4 hours a day, you'll be well on your way to success, right? And by impactful work, I mean like coding assignment, hands-on coding, interview prep, all this for a work that'll have a real impact rather than watching some somewhat related YouTube video. Do that and do it in a focused manner, not like laying on your bed when you're half asleep. Focus and watch how your results just skyrocket. All right, next thing I want to touch on is I remember before I even started my computer science degree, I was trying to like self-learn coding. So I was using like free code camp and all these other such resources. And up until HTML and CSS, it was pretty easy. And once it got to JavaScript, it was just a mind fuck. I didn't understand a single word. And I had no support system around me to reach out to for help. This leads me to the next point. It frustrates me how much degrees are neglected in the community. There'll be people who will say, oh, you don't need a degree, just self-study, bro. You're gonna save so much money, bro. Degrees are all scam, bro. Take that thought, throw it out the window as well. Look, if you genuinely don't have the time and money for a degree, I understand. Self-taught is a viable route, and I do believe you can be successful with that route. But the point I'm making is, if you have the time and money for a degree, why would you neglect it? A degree allows you to have a network of like-minded people around you, a support network of teachers, students, student tutors who will help you, internship opportunities to get your foot in the door, and a degree is still a valuable credential. These bootcamp certifications by themselves literally hold no weight. If you go and you back up that certification with projects and hands-on skills, that holds some weight. But a degree from an accredited public university is a valid credential that holds weight. Make no mistake about it. Is it overpriced? Yes, we can argue that. Like, definitely it costs a lot of money. Regardless, it's a valid credential that is well respected. So if you can take that route, do it. It's still one of the most battle-tested ways of getting your foot in the door, right? So why would we just like neglect this route? Makes no sense to me. If you can go the degree route, go the degree route. All right. Next, I remember once I signed up for this programming stuff, I remember, or when I signed up for my computer science degree, I come from a very non-traditional background. I failed multiple high school courses, didn't graduate high school on time. Failed a college course, was a super, super average college student, right? So these thoughts were constantly running through my mind. Am I good enough to be a software engineer? Am I smart enough? Computer science seems like this field that all like these super smart people get into. Is this something I'm even able to do? Like math geniuses and stuff become computer scientists or software engineers, right? And I remember literally, I was sitting at my desk and I was searching, Googling like minimum IQ for a programmer. And then I would do like IQ tests online to see if I met that IQ requirement. One of the issues here is those people who say, oh, you want to get into computer science? You got to be a genius, bro. You'll see these comments online. It's like, you'll be a genius, bro. Oh, you didn't get an A in math in high school? You won't even make it, bro. Take that thought, throw it out the window. They try to keep this career, right? And I don't understand this mentality. They're trying to impose these standards on us to say, oh, no, you can't come in here. Like, no, yes, we can, and we will. There's many examples, including myself, of people who are in this computer science world without a strong math background, without any sort of strong STEM background, and still doing well in their careers, right? And if there was just one thing that I could drive home with this video, if you only take away one message from this video, if there was only one thing that I could do with my content, if I could literally just like open up your brain and put this belief inside there that you are good enough, you are smart enough, I believe that's all you would need, because realistically, the internet is filled with resources on how to learn to code. I could list out like 20 resources off the top of my head, like Free Code Camp, Odin Project, Codecademy, CS50, right? It's not a lack of, at least in my opinion, it's not a lack of resources that makes people stumble. It's a lack of this, a belief in themselves, belief they can really do it. And I've already stumbled on that. I've already gone through the whole process. Am I good enough? Those ups and downs, ups and downs. And, I'm trying to show you that you don't need to stumble like that. Believe in yourself, truly believe in yourself, work hard, and you will be successful. So the mistake I'm trying to point out here is the lack of focus, lack of belief in oneself, and feeding into fear mongering or gatekeeping online. It's like, oh, you'll never be successful as software. Like, people will say the most ridiculous things online. I don't know why some people need to do this gatekeeping stuff. They got it way backwards. All right. So that's all I got to say about that. Now, next point I'm trying to make here. Be kind to yourself throughout this process and be proud of yourself for taking the step to improve your life. Look, coding completely changed my life. When I was, again, my background, failing multiple high school courses, didn't graduate high school on time, super average college student. Like, what most people expected of me was like, if I get a job, that's like a success for me, right? People really didn't have any sort of expectations for me whatsoever. And I got a 6-figure job right out of university, right? Now I'm able to have money to have fun, but also support my family. Now I'm actually in a career that I enjoy. And these are things you can have too, all right? Believe and focus, right? Believe in yourself and stay focused. Now imagine for a second. Imagine you have a remote job, right? Because I remember before, when I was working a customer service job, I was commuting an hour, 30 minutes there, an hour, 30 minutes back, being paid barely above minimum wage just to get yelled at by customers. And now I have a remote job that I enjoy. Imagine that. Imagine you have a good work-life balance at your job rather than constantly being stressed out about and dreading to go to work. Imagine that you have enough money to go out on dates, because that was the thing for me. I didn't even have enough money to go out on a date. I had to like borrow that from my parents. So imagine you have enough money to go out on dates, pay for that, to go out, have fun with friends, and you have enough money to support your family now. Imagine you have enough money if you wanted to buy a new car. That was one of my things. I had like a really old, crappy car. So imagine you now have money to buy that new car you've always wanted. Imagine that. That's the path you're on, right? Ultimately, I want this to be our positive little community where we help each other, support each other, and help each other get to that next level in life. So please come join our community. I'm going to leave my Instagram, TikTok somewhere here. Please do support there as well. Please do like, comment, subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Peace.